The green ball of light was hit by Xianxia's 6 realms mirrors and flew over, continuously releasing green clouds of light towards Xianxia. Even if it was useless, it was still circling around Xianxia. Xianxia placed the balls of green light into the 6 realms mirrors. No matter what kind of seal was placed on them, they were unable to be sealed, and they were all running around randomly. It was the first time he had encountered something like this. Like a shadow. As Xianxia walked down the mountain, he waved his hands towards the green orbs of light. What he did not expect was that there were dozens of green orbs of light hidden within this mountain, and they could not be chased away no matter how hard he tried. It gave him a huge headache, even though it would not harm him at the moment. He didn't dare to let Xiao lean out to see what it was. He was worried that she would be engulfed. I can't get out. Xianxia returned to the place he came in and knocked into a barrier. The barrier was very strong and he was definitely unable to break through it. He continued to wander around this area, searching for a way out. Otherwise, he would be trapped here for the rest of his life. As he walked, he suddenly felt a trace of an aura. It's the leaders. Xianxia was overjoyed and immediately chased after the trace of qi. However, at this time, there were dozens of green blobs of light following him from behind. These green blobs of light looked extremely terrifying and strange, especially in the dark forest, as frightening as a demon's soul. Xianxia followed the aura left behind by the group of leaders in the forest and eventually came to the conclusion. For this leader to leave behind his aura, it was obvious that he was fleeing in a hurry. Soon, he arrived at the bottom of a mountain. He looked carefully and noticed that although this mountain had been covered well, there was still a trace of that person's aura left on it. It's really smart of him to hide in the belly of the mountain. Xianxia laughed and immediately took action. Pushing away a few large rocks, he saw a cave. As expected of the leader, to be able to win so well, it's a pity that I found out about him. Xianxia immediately rushed in. The belly of the mountain was very spacious, and there were also a few strong barriers laid out by the leader in a short period of time, using array discs and supreme mantras. A very strong spirit formation. I'm afraid I cannot enter. While Xianxia was trying to think of a way, he discovered that after the dozens of green orbs of light caught up to him, the green light they released could actually make the energy of the barrier gradually weaken. Not long after, the enchantment became extremely weak and Xianxia easily charged in. After entering the belly of the mountain, Xianxia saw the leader. The leader had heard the voices outside and he was extremely terrified, but he believed that his barrier was strong and would not be broken so easily. Then Xianxia came in. The leader of the Paternoster race saw that there were dozens of those terrifying green blobs of light behind Xianxia, and his face immediately turned ashen. He did not know how Xianxia did it, but he wasn't swallowed by these green blobs of light. Leader, it must have been hard for me to find you. We must take care of each other when we enter such a dangerous place. By the way, I'm being followed by some annoying things. Can you help me get rid of them? Xianxia laughed. This leader had already scolded Xianxia with all the profanities he had. It was obvious that Xianxia's smile and expression was meant to bring such a terrifying thing to him. I will kill you. The leader roared and was about to charge over, but the moment he released his aura, those green balls of light immediately flew over and surrounded him. Xianxia immediately felt his scalp tingling. The aggressive leader had turned into a pile of bones in the blink of an eye. This was someone at the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. He actually died just like that. Motherfucker. I've been followed by these things for a long time. It's really a miracle that I'm still alive. Until now, Xianxia still could not understand why he was fine and not get swallowed by the green blob of light. He was fine right now, but that did not mean that he would be fine in the future. These green blobs of light were extremely dangerous, and if he suddenly failed to defend against them, he would end up in the same situation as the skeletal leader in front of him. Xianxia arrived at the mouth of the cave, moved the stone over and sealed the cave entrance, and then controlled the few array discs to strengthen the barrier. This should be fine. Xianxia did not need any glowing stones to light up inside the cave. Those 50 or so green glowing balls were already enough to light up the cave. It was just that the kind of green glowing ball made him feel very uncomfortable. Are those things still with you? Xiao Xianglin asked. Do you believe that the arrogant leader from before died in an instant? Xiang said as he clicked his tongue. These things are dangerous after all. I have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Xiang took out the Tianquang furnace, and then placed a piece of Tao Creation divine crystal inside the Tianquang furnace. Just as he had guessed, the green orbs of light were extremely sensitive to energy and immediately swarmed into the Tianquang furnace. Xianxia immediately closed the lid. However, these green blobs of light easily escaped from the Tianquang furnace and shot out. What exactly is this thing? Xianxia was extremely depressed. He then threw in a piece of Tao Creation divine crystal and released a ball of flame at the same time. He wanted to burn the green ball of light, but to no avail. Xianxia had no other choice. He laid on the ground, looked at the green orbs of light floating above him, and thought about all sorts of ways. Elder brother Xin, that tree has borne fruit. Jiang Xijing said. The mysterious seed that Xianxia had obtained from the 3 strange mountains in the Blood Mud Plains had grown very quickly after Jiang Xijing and the others had planted it. That mysterious seed. Xianxia suddenly thought of something. The mysterious seed had previously made him unable to move. It was very similar to the energy released by the green ball of light. Is it because of this seed that I haven't been devoured? Xianxia thought to himself. Then he asked Jiang Xijing to give him the fruits that he obtained. Xianxia took the fruit into his hands, and the green orb of light floating above suddenly pressed down, then quickly rushed into the green fruit. As expected, this time, Xianxia was sure that the green ball of light had a lot to do with the fruit. What surprised Xianxia was that the fruit's devouring ability seemed to be stronger than the green blob of light, actually devouring the green blob of light. Why are those green blobs of light able to contain so much energy? Xianxia suddenly felt that it was strange, because the green ball of light itself did not release any of its qi. Perhaps these green blobs of light are just like the bees, coming out to gather energy and then sending it back to the lair. Qin Shuang said, It's just that they don't have to fly back. How will they be sent back to their lair? Through the earth. Peng Profound Phi suddenly said, Previously, when these green balls of light were chasing you, they would suddenly drill into the ground and then appear in front of you. Right? Probably. Xianxia nodded his head. Should I go to the lair to take a look? Long Shui said, Little scoundrel, if we ate this fruit, what would happen? Xianxia indeed had this thought, but he didn't know if there would be any consequences to eating it, so he didn't eat it immediately. The updates were quick. Let me see the readings. Fengyuan came out from the Yu Yao mountain villa. This is a fruit. I might be able to read the memories inside the medicine soul. This fruit has been growing in the Yu Yao mountain villa. I'm afraid it doesn't have any memories. Xianxia said. Fengyuan tried it again and found nothing. Could only be said that this fruit was very strange. Get out and let the fruit swallow a bit more green light. Feng Lanyi said. Xianxia also felt that this was pretty good. He walked out of the cave and then carefully walked outside to lure out all the green blobs of light that were hidden here. Just by entering a forest, he was able to draw out dozens of people, and then he would climb another mountain and dozens more. In the next few days, he lured out over 1,000 green blobs of light. This made him feel terrified. There were actually so many green blobs of light hidden inside, and if he was unable to defend against them, he would die without a doubt. These thousands of green blobs of light were all absorbed by that fruit. The originally green fruit suddenly changed. A white mist leaked out and the entire fruit became transparent. After eating enough, it evolved? Xianxia looked at the transparent, mysterious fruit in his hand. It should be edible, Long Shui said. She was most interested in eating. Xianxia made a great decision that he would eat this fruit. It should be fine, there might be some benefits. Xianxia clenched his teeth and forced himself to bite a few times on the strange fruit before swallowing it. Xianxia was currently inside the mountain cave. He sat on the ground and waited for the fruit's power to erupt. But what surprised him was that the fruit did not have any kind of berserk energy. Instead, it was a type of energy that made him feel extremely comfortable. Is that it? Xianxia only felt that it was more comfortable, so he didn't feel anything else. He continued to wait patiently. Suddenly, a voice rang out in his mind. Sounded like the voice of a child. Come back! Come back! Xianxia immediately opened his eyes. This is a rare king in the green light ball's cave? Summoning the green blob of light back? He wanted to go to the lair to have a look, but he didn't know how. However, when he thought of going back, he felt as if his body had easily burrowed into the ground. A strange feeling came over him and he came to a forest filled with green light. On top of the trees in this forest there was that kind of green light ball everywhere, and in the middle of the forest there was a small tree. When Xianxia saw the fruit of the small tree in the middle, he was even more sure that it was the tree that he had planted with the mysterious seed. What surprised Xianxia was that, in a flash, the small tree had turned into a bald kid, and the nearby green balls of light all flew over, entering into the child's body. In that instant, tens of thousands of green lights entered into the child's body. Who are you? The bald child asked in a tender voice. He looked to be only 5 or 6 years old. At this time, Xianxia could feel that the child's strength was extremely terrifying, being at the same level as the uncle Sure. I'm the one who mistook this place for mine. Xianxia said. You swallowed 1,300 little green balls. The child snorted. How did you do it? I have a kind of fruit. If I take that fruit out, your little green ball will enter the fruit, and then I will eat those fruits. After hearing your voice, I don't know what happened, but I came here. Xianxia answered truthfully. Seems like you have obtained the seed of the Tao Creations tree. The child said with a face full of jealousy. How did you get hold of such a thing? The seed of the Tao Creations tree? Xianxia took a deep breath. This thing sounds very powerful. I think you are made from a small tree. Could you also be a Tao Creations tree? Of course, there are a total of 9 Tao Creation trees. I am one of them. I am an oldest tree, and the others are not just small saplings or small seeds. Some of them have even been destroyed. The child said. Is there anything special about this Tao Creation tree? Although Xianxia ate that fruit, he did not know what use it had. I don't know about your Tao Creations tree. In short, my tree can release little green balls to gather energy. The oldest tree said, your Tao Creations tree has already borne fruit, so you should also have the ability. Have you tried it? How do I use it? I've never tried it. Xianxia also wanted to know what was going on. Although the child in front of him was strong enough to release that kind of terrifying little green ball, he did not have any enmity towards Xianxia. Didn't you eat the fruit? That's how it was used. You should be able to feel the energy after eating the fruit. Oldest tree frowned her eyebrows. She was confused. My fruit absorbed a lot of your green balls, then became transparent, so I ate it. Xianxia, now that he thought about it carefully, the fruit seemed to have the ability to swallow things like the little green ball and store its energy inside. And then you can hear me? Have you been summoned by me? The oldest tree suddenly shouted. I understand. The fruits of your Tao Creation tree are able to contain all kinds of energy. After that, the energy inside the fruits will strengthen, and the fruits will become transparent, indicating that the fruits have reached their limit. You have eaten a lot of my energy balls, so you should be able to grasp their power. Furthermore, there are so many of them, so your power should be very strong. The oldest tree said. What ability does little green ball have? Xianxia asked. Is it able to devour? The little green ball can't swallow the energy of others. They only sensed it and then transferred it to me through the earth. The oldest tree replied, because you also have a Tao Creation tree, I am unable to absorb your energy. The main ability of the little green ball is to penetrate it. Try and see if you can sense the power of the little green ball in your body. The oldest tree urged. Don't just stand there. Try it quickly. Xianxia immediately closed his eyes to sense, and very quickly, he felt a trace of green energy flowing through his divine sense. He did not realize it before, but he immediately urged the green energy flow into his body, and his body suddenly released a green light. Through that tree, the oldest tree seemed to be very interested and excited as he shouted anxiously. Xianxia immediately walked towards the tree and easily penetrated through it, which made him extremely happy. Seeing that Xianxia succeeded, the oldest tree nodded his head in satisfaction. 79XS. In the future, you must treat that Tao creation tree well, and the result should be difficult. Don't eat too much. If you eat too much, you might be assimilated by the Tao creation tree, and then you will be turned into a tree. Oldest tree had his hands on his waist. This big fart kid spoke to Xianxia as if he was lecturing a junior, causing Xianxia to not know whether to laugh or cry. Oldest tree, is this your territory? Xianxia asked. I was chased by a group of fellows and then I entered inside. How do I get out? Who is the person chasing and killing you? I've already devoured quite a few of them, and they're pretty fat. The oldest tree said. What's the Paternoster race? You definitely don't know them. These guys are all very strong. I can't beat them for the time being, so I can only enter this dangerous place. Xianxia sighed. Humph. Who said that I don't recognize them? I can even recognize these bastards after they turn to dust. Oldest tree said angrily. It was clear that he had some sort of enmity with Paternoster race. Xianxia suddenly thought that for such a fellow like the oldest tree to be arranged to be here, it was obvious that he was entrusted to be here by the 8th Patriarch all those years ago, and it was very likely that the Tao Creation Divine Lord was the one who made him stay here. Oldest tree, you are friends with them? Xianxia asked. I'm not friends with people like them. Oldest tree was very angry. They were the ones who wanted to eat my fruit back then. I didn't give it to them, then framed me and caused me to nearly burn to death. There's actually such a thing. Xianxia finally understood why when he heard about Paternoster race. He was extremely furious. Didn't Tao Creation Divine Lord want to destroy them back then? Why are they still here? They were created by the 8th Patriarch. There were 8 branches in all of the Paternoster race, but later on, mixed into the incantationers created by the Tao Creation Evil Ancestor, and other than the incantationers created by the Tao Creation Divine Lord, the other 7 first Tao Creation Ancestors incantationers were all not good people. After remembering the past, the oldest tree was very angry. In the end, they teamed up and killed all of the casters created by the Tao Creation Divine Lord, and then they framed me. Luckily, the Tao Creation Divine Lord did not believe them. Originally, the Tao Creation Divine Lord was going to destroy them, but they hid a large portion of them. At that time, the Tao Creation Divine Lord was busy preparing a rebirth after destroying the world, so they didn't pay attention to it. Oldest tree, do you know Uncle Sure? Xianxia asked. Like you. He's inside the 8 Ancestor contract map. You might not know that the Paternoster race is just around the corner from your area. I know of the Uncle Sure. He was the one who helped me out at that time. Right now, the situation outside is definitely very bad. That means the other first Tao Creation Ancestor are not good people. Luckily, they are not able to break through the 8 Ancestor contract map. Oldest tree sneered. Paternoster race's group of bastards are right next to me. They're obviously waiting for an opportunity to find me. Because there was a feud between Xianxia and Paternoster race, oldest tree had a better impression of Xianxia. Xianxia kept talking about what had happened outside to the oldest tree. What a pity. I can't even help Tao Creation Divine Lord right now. It's all this damned 8 Ancestor contract map's fault. Oldest tree was very vexed. Then do I have a way to get out? Xianxia was very worried about this. He did not want to be sealed inside for the rest of his life. Of course you can, you're not me. After oldest tree finished speaking, he turned into a small tree. On it was carved a 8 Ancestor contract map, and then he turned back into a child. I did restrict the 8 Ancestor contract map, so I can't leave the barrier. Now that you have the penetrating power of the green ball, there is definitely no problem, you can pass through the barrier. The oldest tree said, after you leave, you must deal with those bastards from Paternoster race. Don't worry about that. They even wanted to capture me earlier and steal the new supreme mantra that I have. Xianxia laughed. I have a lot of good stuff stored here, but I can't give it to you because of the 8 Ancestor contract map's restrictions. If anyone wants to take those things, I'll have to fight them to the death. The oldest tree said, don't worry, I don't want those things. I just want to go out and teach Paternoster race a lesson. Xianxia felt that if he did not get rid of the Paternoster race, there would be endless troubles in the future, because all the hopes of breaking the 8 ancestor contract map rested with the Paternoster race. Good. Then go and try it now, the oldest tree said. Xianxia nodded, then was sent out of the place using a mysterious type of spatial energy to the side of the barrier. My luck is pretty good. As expected, Tao Creation Divine Lord has a good relationship with many people, and knows so many strange and powerful fellows. Xianxia lamented in his heart. The previous Uncle Shi was transformed from a stone, but the current oldest tree was a tree of the Tao Creation. When Xianxia arrived at the edge of the barrier, he immediately used his penetrating power to make his body emit a light green brilliance. After that, he walked towards the barrier, but he was not reflected back. Did it work? Xianxia quickened his pace, and very quickly, he walked out of the terrifying barrier. Could it be that all of the barriers can be broken like this? This is too unbelievable. Xianxia faced the mountain in front of him and gave it a try. He quickly started running, his body releasing green light, and then he penetrated the stone mountain. He did not consume much energy. After mastering this ability, Xianxia was very happy. He then ran wildly through the mountain, not turning even when he saw trees, rocks, or mountains. He released his penetrating power to pierce through them. Tao Creation Ancient Place was extremely dangerous. Xianxia had been very lucky previously, but if he met someone like the Uncle Shi who did not care about face or wanted to fight as long as he met him, he would not be able to relax. Paternoster race is too strong now, and this is their territory. Xianxia leaned against a tree and rested. At the same time, he also formulated a plan to deal with the Paternoster race. If not, fighting Glorious City. No, we won't go back to the Fighting Glorious City. We will directly build a shop outside the Fighting Glorious City, and we will sell pills there. Bai Yuyu said. I agree. If those fellows from the Paternoster race come, that would be for the best. If they come with powerful abilities, it won't be a problem for them to escape unscathed. Hua Liqing said. Xianxia's Yu Yao Mountain Villa's women had already stepped into the world-defying stage legendary rank, but they were only at the early stage. Only when Little White Fox and Xiao Xianglin used the doppelganger mantra could they compete against the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. So Bai Yuyu and Feng Kuo had to join hands. If Feng Lanyi, Qin Shuang, and Peng Profoundfei work together, they should also be able to kill a world-defying stage legendary rank. He Fengyuan and Mei Jing sister Xiang'er were not very good at fighting. It would be difficult for them to deal with the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. When my super time array is done refining, I will be able to refine more powerful Tao Creation divine weapons. Xiao Xianglin said, with the help of the god equipment, our overall strength will increase. Xiang made Xiao Xianglin create a house, the kind that could be put away, and with the specifications of a shop. To Xiao Xianglin, this was a piece of cake. She quickly finished refining a 7-story tower. Xiang had already returned to the Fighting Glorious City. He did not go look for Yang Zhenming, but instead stayed with him in the city. He sent many mouse manes out to find out more news, and found out that there were a lot of people here who needed to buy Peak Dan S, so he still had 200 of them. Therefore, Su Meiyao did not continue to refine another Peak Dan. Refining a single Peak Dan would require the energy of 50 Tao Creation's sacred crystals, so it could only be sold for 100 Tao Creation's divine crystals. Temporarily use the Peak Dan in your hands. Xianxia said to Hua Liqing, there are a lot of people here who need it, but right now, we are in possession of the Tao Creation's holy crystal. All right, get your mouse man to advertise everywhere. We're going out of the city. Hua Liqing nodded. Xianxia and Hua Liqing arrived outside the Fighting Glorious City, and then released the tower. After the news spread throughout the mouse man, many people knew that Xianxia's shop had reopened. Previously, they had received news that there was a force trying to deal with Xianxia in secret. Everyone thought that it was the Wood Mountain sect because Xianxia had a conflict with the Wood Mountain sect. The shop rushed open and Hua Liqing managed it. 200 Peak Dan were quickly sold. There are 20,000 Tao Creation divine crystals. After Hua Liqing finished selling the Peak Dan, He closed the shop's door and gave the Tao Creation's holy crystal to Xianxia. I still have a legendary god Dan in my hand. Take it to the auction. Xianxia said, we need to accumulate a large amount of Tao Creation holy crystals. In the future, we will consume a lot of Tao Creation holy crystals. After Hua Liqing obtained the legendary god Dan, he had the mouse man go and advertise, letting many people know that. At the same time, he also hinted that the price of the legendary god Dan was not low, and that it was at least 15,000 Tao Creation holy crystals. Yang Zhenming heard about Xianxia's return from the city lord's mansion, but he did not open a shop in the fighting glorious city. Instead, he opened a shop outside of the city. If they were to open a shop outside the city once someone came to cause trouble, Xianxia would not hesitate to kill them all, and would even be able to fight them all, but he could not do it in the fighting glorious city, as there were many things he needed to take into consideration. We're finally selling the legendary god Dan. Yang Zhenming said, Lai Dao, go help publicize it. All right. Fierce Blade immediately took action. If someone else said that he had a divine pellet that could help him enter the world-defying stage legendary rank, no one would believe them. If it was Boss Shen's store, many people would believe it without a doubt. This was because the peak Dan-s of Xianxia's past were extremely famous. 3 days later, Xianxia asked Little White Fox, Feng Lanyi and Bai Yuyu to watch over the auction inside the shop while he went into the time formation to refine legendary god Dan. Anyone who could afford to buy legendary god Dan would be able to use them, so they would definitely be able to verify their abilities in a short period of time. At this time, all the major powers of the fighting glorious city had gathered here, and those who were participating in the auction needed to have at least 10,000 Tao Creation divine crystals in order to qualify. The majority of legendary god Dan were bought for the younger generation to use. Their own descendants were able to step into the world-defying stage legendary rank at such a young age and become their right-hand men. In these 3 days of time, Xianxia had already refined 4 pieces of legendary god Dan. Xianxia was not at the auction, but was at the top floor of the tower, controlling 1,000 Mouse-Man-s and a single illusion. If anyone from the Paternoster race came, he would be able to discover them immediately. The legendary god Dan's name was famous, and had already spread to a few nearby big cities, where many big shots of these big cities all came. There shouldn't be any incantationers here. At this moment, Xianxia was no longer afraid of the people of the Paternoster race, because he knew that the rankers who had mastered a large number of supreme mantra could not be sent out, and the only ones that could be sent out were the junior clan leader or Zhou Xingji. The auction had already begun. Xianxia, Little White Fox, Feng Lanyi and Feng Lanyi were in charge of protecting the people outside. Although many of the people participating in the auction were experts at the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, they were customers and could not be helped. Xianxia passed by the mouse man and suddenly saw a familiar person rushing over from afar. Xianxia immediately let the mouse man pass through. Go away, don't block my way. Zhou Xingji saw that there was someone in front and anxiously shouted, Brother Zhou, I am Xianxia. The mouse man chuckled. Are the people from Paternoster race coming? You are really Xianxia? Zhou Xingji did not sense Xianxia's qi, but he quickly believed it. This time, not only the people from our Paternoster race are here, the Fire Mountain School is also here. Is your legendary god Dan real? Zhou Xingji still couldn't believe it. Of course it's true. The mouse man laughed. By the way, how did you get out of there? You obviously entered that damned place, and there is the seal of the 8 ancestor contract map, so you won't be able to get out after entering. Last time, Zhou Xingji had also participated in capturing Xianxia, and even met him before, but he did not capture him. Luck! Xianxia laughed. Are the people who came this time strong? Of course they're strong. Some are in the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. Zhou Xingji suddenly thought of something important. They will be here soon. I think it's because of your legendary god Dan. Your legendary god Dan was able to allow people to step into the world-defying stage legendary rank, but it has been many years since Fire Mountain School has been able to do so. Furthermore, you have a conflict with the Paternoster race, so they have an excuse to deal with you. I'll tell you what's going on with these fellows. You can just deal with me directly. What kind of excuse do you want? You clearly did many shameless things, but you always have to consider your own face. Xianxia laughed. Thank you for your reminder, Brother Zhou. What are you thanking me for? Why aren't you leaving yet? Zhou Xingji said. They are coming over soon. They're already here. I can feel their auras. Xianxia laughed. You should also come and watch the show quickly. The auction within the tower was extremely intense. Through the mouse man that was arranged for Xianxia to enter, he found out that he had already obtained 3 pellets with prices above 20,000 Tao Creation holy crystals. The 4th pill was currently being auctioned. Yang Zhenming was also in the auction house. The people he had arranged to be outside sensed that a large group of people had appeared and immediately called out to him, causing Yang Zhenming to quickly run out of the auction house. It's not Fire Mountain School or Paternoster race. It's Wood Mountain sect. Xianxia felt a familiar aura. It was none other than the outer sect leader S of the Wood Mountain sect. Did these guys teleport out of the Tao Creation ancient place using the transmission array? It should be a lot of Tao Creation holy crystals. Looks like they have to at least earn some Tao Creation holy crystals to transfer them. If not, they would not let this matter rest. Xianxia sighed. These robbers, they always want me. Xianxia had already thought about the consequences the legendary god Dan would cause once it was made public, which was why he decided to auction it outside the fighting glorious city. 79. Damn it. Even the Ice Jade sect has come. Zhou Xingji cursed. He could sense powerful qi coming from all directions, heading towards Xianxia's direction. It seems like we're under a lot of pressure this time. Xianxia took a deep breath. If it really isn't possible, then let's go. Bai Yuyu said. Of course, we can't just leave like that. We have to make them bleed. We can't let them come here for nothing. Xiao Xianglin had already worked hard inside the time arrays and refined many divine tools. He had both defensive and offensive divine tools that could allow Bai Yuyu and the others' overall strength to be even stronger. The strongest was at the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, was an old man in his late years. The last time Mu Yijing, who was in the middle stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, had been killed, so they would definitely send someone stronger this time around. Then came the Paternoster race and Flame Mountain sect. These 4 strong forces had all come. In Xianxia's eyes, they were shameless hooligans. At the entrance was Yang Zhenming and Lai Dao. Everyone, the auction is in progress. We can't enter right now. Please wait a moment. Yang Zhenming said with a smile. When he saw this group of people, he had already made his decision. If this group of people made a move against Xianxia, he would definitely help them. What are you? An old man from the Flame Mountain sect shouted coldly. He released his aura. He was a late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank. I am a human. I am not a thing. Of course, you must be something. Yes, an old thing. Yang Zhenming laughed, clenching his fists tightly. He would not show any sign of weakness. He had been a city lord for a long time, and had long complained about the 7 great sects. Previously, he had only held it in, but now, he looked down on him in such a way. You're courting death. The old man from the Flame Mountain sect was instantly enraged and immediately released a strong pressure. Yang Zhenming endured the pressure with a smile on his face, and pushed him back. Xianxia and Xiao Xianglin were both behind him, so together, Xiao Xianglin and Little White Fox secretly used the pressure mantra and released a wave of pressure that destroyed the old man's pressure in an instant, forcing him to take a few steps back. This is my shop. If you want to enter, you have to go through me. Xianxia said coldly. You guys have stayed in Tao Creation ancient place for so many years. Don't just sit there and watch the scene. You guys are too conceited. Pressure mantra. An old man from the Paternoster race said in a low voice. These are new incantations, the strong ones. Xianxia, you killed Elder Mu Yijing of my Wood Mountain sect. We came here for revenge. The old man from the Wood Mountain sect revealed his killing intent. I want to force you to go back to the Wood Mountain sect to receive your punishment. All right. Xianxia smiled, looked at the people from the Ice Jade sect and asked, You should be from the Ice Jade sect. Are you here to watch a show? Here, it seemed that only the Ice Jade sect did not have any reason to attack Xianxia. Not really, we are here to capture you. Your legendary god Dan was stolen from my Ice Jade sect. My Ice Jade sect had a burglary before. The old man had not finished speaking when Xianxia smacked the old man hard in the face. What a shameless thing. Xianxia laughed coldly. Your face should have been smashed to pieces. Xianxia actually dared to beat him up. I will destroy you. The old man from the Ice Jade sect roared. The surroundings became as cold as frost, and the entire tower was covered in ice as an extremely strong wave of icy cold power shot towards Xianxia. Xianxia immediately brandished his 6 realms mirrors and blocked the power of the man from the Wood Mountain sect. The people of Wood Mountain sect had originally planned to wait and see, and then watch the situation unfold, but they did not expect such a force to suddenly attack. The old man from the Ice Jade sect was the late period of world-defying magic realm, and this wave of icy cold power was created in a fit of anger. After being bounced back by Xianxia's 6 realms mirrors, it was strengthened by the mirrored increase spell. In just an instant, the entire Wood Mountain sect was frozen. Xiao Xianglin and Little White Fox saw that after releasing 2 clones each, they had activated the pressure mantra together with their clones and released an extremely strong pressure. Then, they merged the pressure of their 6 clones together using the fusion spell and charged towards the people of Wood Mountain sect. When this pressure exploded out, even those in the later stages of world-defying stage legendary rank were moved in fear. The few Wood Mountain sects who were frozen immobile were instantly torn to shreds by this pressure. The Wood Mountain sect was finished just like that. He was a late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank and a few mid-stage world-defying stage legendary rank S. The Ice Jade sect's old man was also stunned. His cold power was very strong. Even people with a similar cultivation level as him would not be able to break through the ice, and because of that, his body's defensive power would be weakened, hence he would be torn to shreds by the pressure. Those are legendary mantra. These 2 women have control over legendary mantra. The people from the Paternoster race shouted in shock. We must capture them. Yang Zhenming and the others secretly took a deep breath. No wonder the clone could pass through the legendary mantra. No wonder it was so powerful. The old man from the Ice Jade sect wanted to attack again, but the people from the Flame Mountain sect and the Paternoster race had already rushed forward. Xianxia was holding onto the legendary God Dan's medicinal formula, and Little White Fox and Xiao Xianglin were holding onto the legendary mantra. Junior sister and master, Xianxia anxiously shouted. Xiao Xianglin and Little White Fox were already prepared a long time ago, and after that, they released the berserk pressure that they had been storing for a long time, hitting Xianxia. When the pressure was sent towards Xianxia, he immediately used his 6 realms mirrors to block it. Everyone immediately understood that this was to bounce back using the 6 realms mirrors, and to make the pressure stronger. When the 10-odd people from Flame Mountain sect and Paternoster race saw this, they were shocked and dispersed. They knew very well how terrifying the pressure was. What no one expected was, Xianxia's target wasn't them, but the Ice Jade sect behind them. Originally, everyone thought that they were going to attack Yanshan and the Paternoster race. No one expected that after they dodged, Xianxia would use the force of time to slow down, and then hurriedly change the angle of the 6 realms mirrors, pushing the extremely strong pressure towards the few people from the Ice Jade sect. The pressure swept out. Other than the Ice Jade sect's late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank's elder who was able to block it, the other middle-stage world-defying stage legendary rank S were all crushed into dust and turned into ashes. Even if it was the late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank, he would still be severely injured if he was able to withstand this power. Bai Yuyu and Feng Lanyi, who were both hidden, immediately came up to the old man and used the Tao Creation divine weapon that Xiao Xianglin refined to hack the old man into 8 pieces. Because this was an auction, there were initially many people waiting outside for news. The people of Jade sect and Wood Mountain sect were killed by Xianxia so quickly. They were all trembling in fear. If the pressure had hit them just now, the consequences would have been obvious. They were not prepared and did not know what Xianxia's methods were, but they did not expect that Xianxia's 6 realms mirrors was so terrifying that it was impossible to guard against. Although it could destroy 2 groups of people, Xianxia and the rest were under a lot of pressure. What flowers are there? The old man from the Paternoster race immediately released a shield of runes around his body, and the rest of the Paternoster race followed suit. As for the people from Flame Mountain sect, they were hiding behind them. The runic barrier was a very powerful type. Just then, Hua Liqing opened the door, and a group of people ran out. This group of people were all very strong, and there were a lot of them in the world-defying stage legendary rank, but Xianxia didn't expect that there would be 2 of them at the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank, for a total of around 20 people. What's going on? Why are they fighting? I already felt that something was wrong with the atmosphere outside. So Boss Shin is here to stop us from causing trouble. Very strong. Is this a result that belongs to Yen Shan Gate? Boss Shin, do you need help? Chun Xiang immediately thought that he was a master of pill concocting, and these people desperately needed pills. He could definitely get this group of people to come and help him. Yes, as long as we can eliminate them, I will sell the legendary God Dan for a good price in the future. You should know about the credibility of Chun Xiang. Chun Xiang said, I already killed 2 groups of people, so there's only this group left. Previously, Chun Xiang was able to get a peak Dan and later a legendary God Dan, so he was definitely able to get better pills in the future. These 2 pills were more than enough to prove Chun Xiang's potential, and since this was a golden leg, everyone here wanted to hug it a little tighter. So no matter who it was that came to cause trouble, they all agreed. If I can capture them alive, I'm willing to use a legendary God Dan to obtain them. The people from Flame Mountain Sect and Paternoster race were dumbfounded. They never thought that Qin Xiang had such rallying powers. In such a situation, the people of Flame Mountain Sect and Paternoster race retreated immediately. However, Chun Xiang had already said that only by exterminating them would they be able to get a reasonable price and buy the legendary God Dan. As a result, the people from Flame Mountain Sect and the Paternoster race were chased far away by more than 20 world-defying stage legendary rank S. After more than 4 hours, only 1 Paternoster race disciple was captured alive. The one who captured Paternoster race was an old lady from world-defying stage legendary rank. She laughed and handed over the half-crippled person to Chun Xiang. Everyone, this one will need some time to refine the legendary God Dan. I wonder if everyone can wait here for a while. I will get shopkeeper Li Qing to discuss a satisfactory price with everyone. Chun Xiang said. No problem, no problem. We will just wait here. You can start concocting pills peacefully. The old lady laughed. Before, she did not manage to snatch the legendary God Dan, but she managed to capture a Paternoster race alive, which was equivalent to acquiring a legendary God Dan worth 20,000 Tao Creation, holy crystals. Thus, even if she gave her all her life, she would still let Qin Xiang safely refine a legendary God Dan. Yang Zhenming shrugged towards Lai Dao and Yen Jiu, but it was not their turn to take action. This is the power of a master apothecary. Yang Zhenming chuckled. Among that group of people who came to cause trouble, only one is still alive. Had actually killed off all 4 groups of people who had come to cause trouble, including some who were at the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. This was an incredible thing. If this matter were to spread to the Tao Creation ancient place, it would definitely cause a huge stir in the 7 major sects and the Paternoster races. Flower Li Qing handed over the 5 Tao Creation holy crystals that the legendary God Dan had auctioned for him to Chun Xiang. There was a total of 110,000 Tao Creation holy crystals, and he still needed to refine 21 legendary God Dan in order to thank the people who had helped him. When the time comes, we will sell them 15,000 Tao Creation divine crystals. Lonesome Flower said, You'll earn a lot from this too. All right, go and discuss the price with them. I'll go concoct pills. Chun Xiang laughed. We need to recruit a group of thugs. In the future, there will be more and more of these things. Xiao Xianglin was also much more relieved now. She went back to refine her super time array, but Little White Fox and Bai Yuyu were still outside guarding. Inside the time formation, Chun Xiang was accelerating with his pill refining. 5 people bought the legendary God Dan, and at the same time they were using the time array to make their own juniors consume and refine them. Although they knew that Chun Xiang would not lie to them, they still did not believe in the effects of the pill at the bottom of their hearts. It was hard to imagine that peak of world-defying magic realm could immediately step into the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank after consuming such a pellet. Especially for these people who had already stepped into the world-defying stage legendary rank, they had experienced the arduous journey of breaking through, going through countless difficulties, and had taken at least tens of thousands of years to do so. He just did not want others to think that this type of pill would be easy to refine. At the same time, he also thought that other people might come and cause trouble, and at that time he would also have these big shots of the powerhouses coming to take care of the people who came to cause trouble. It would be free of charge anyway. When Xianxia came out, there were a few more young world-defying stage legendary rank. Although they had proud looks on their faces, but after soaring sky, they were all extremely respectful. "Hello, Boss Shin." "Greetings, Master Shin." Those youths and seniors all greeted Xianxia, as they had already verified the abilities of the legendary God Dan. "Boss, they have already given me the Tao Creation's divine crystal. Right now, you only need to give them the legendary God Dan," Hua Liqing said. "All right." Xianxia laughed and began to distribute the legendary God Dennis. 20 of them needed to use the Tao Creation's divine crystals, and the old lady was giving them to him as a gift. At this time, everyone was extremely happy, and Xianxia had said that they would be able to purchase it at this price in the future. Previously, in order to refine more than 20 legendary God Danes, he had exhausted all of his 100,000 Tao Creation's divine crystals. However, right now, he was selling them for 300,000 Tao Creation's divine crystals. Would have to use it to refine some formation plates or something in the future. In the future, he would also need to use more of the Tao Creation holy crystals to refine even better pellets. There were still a lot of Tao Creation's sacred crystals in the Tao Creation ancient place, especially in the depths, which would be dug out by many in the future. Bai Yuyu had already devoured 5 supreme mantra from the memories of the incantationer. There are 4 who are the same as the previous ones. Bai Yuyu said, "Only one is different. Inside Paternoster race, many people grasp the same supreme mantra. Xianxia had killed 3 great sects and a man sent by a clan. Furthermore, these people were all extremely powerful and had very high positions in their forces. Now that they were all dead, this was a very serious matter. When the Icy Jade sect, Wood Mountain sect, and the leader found out about this, they were enraged. However, they had yet to find an enemy they had been wary of for many years, and that was the Tao Creation Divine Lord. They had all thought that by sending people to bring Xianxia back, they would be able to get the pill formulas from Xianxia no matter what means they used. They had felt that the people they sent out were sufficient to deal with him, since they were only at the late stage of world-defying stage legendary rank. Xianxia sold those legendary God Danes and obtained a large sum of Tao Creation's holy crystals, which was enough for him to use for a period of time. In the remaining time, he wouldn't need to worry about not having enough Tao Creation's holy crystals. He claimed that he was from the Super Yuandan Alliance and he came here to invite Xianxia to participate in the convention organized by the Super Yuandan Alliance. He only left an invitation for Hua Liqing to pass it to him. Xianxia took the invitation and went to find Yang Zhenming. Super Yuandan Alliance? I have never heard of it in all my years in Seven Mountains Divine Island. Yang Zhenming read the contents of the invitation card and said with a frown, "Boss Shun, if you want to go, you must be careful. Who knows who set this up for you? Don't worry about that. No one can fool me." Xianxia laughed. "I will go take a look. Anyway, I'm on top of the Seven Mountains Divine Island. From the map, I can see that it's pretty close to here. Then you must be careful. The 7 great sects must be paying a lot of attention to you right now." Yang Zhenming reminded him, "If you find anything wrong, you must leave immediately." Xianxia nodded his head and accepted the invitation, following the map and hurrying on his way. "Boss, that old man said that Super Yuandan Alliance is very mysterious. Although there are a lot of Alchemists that have joined, these Alchemists have never told anyone else." Hua Liqing said, "I asked him about the main function of the Super Yuandan Alliance, but he didn't tell me. He said that only those who have joined the Super Yuandan Alliance can know about this. If it works, I'll definitely join." Xianxia said, "If there is a master alchemist from the Seven Mountains Divine Island inside, it would be good. I can learn something from him." The Super Yuandan Alliance was a villa built in a mountain range that was hidden very deeply. Xianxia had to travel for several days before arriving here. Xianxia could already see it from afar. After arriving at the main entrance, he did not see anyone, but he saw a crystal. On it were some words engraved, saying that they wanted to show the invitation card. Xianxia took out the invitation card and looked at the water spa. The door slowly opened, allowing Xianxia to rush in by himself. After entering, Xianxia saw a few people there. All of them were elderly men in white robes. When they saw that someone had entered, they hurriedly walked over with a smile. "Little brother, look at your invitation card. We are responsible for receiving you," an old man said. Xianxia handed over the invitation. Xianxia? The one who made the legendary god Dan? When the old man saw the name on it, he immediately revealed a look of admiration. "That's me." Xianxia smiled slightly. "This Super Yuan Dan alliance is truly astonishing. I wonder, when did you establish it?" These few elders all knew about the legendary god Dan, so they were extremely respectful to Xianxia. "Master Shen, this cannot be said for now, because you are not a member of our Super Yuan Dan alliance. According to the rules, we cannot say it, so please forgive us." The old man said, "You are our esteemed guest. Come, I will bring you to your residence." Xianxia was even more curious about the Super Yuan Dan alliance. He could only follow the old man to his residence. The old man was only the peak of world-defying magic realm. If he ate a legendary god Dan, he would be able to step into the world-defying stage legendary rank. "Master Shen, I wonder if you still have any legendary god Dan left?" the old man asked. "Not at the moment. Sorry." Indeed, Xianxia did not have any legendary god Dan-s with him. The old man was disappointed, but even if Xianxia had a legendary god Dan, he couldn't afford it, because the price was at least 15,000 Tao Creation holy crystals. Xianxia's residence was in a quiet location in the villa, in a small house by the river. "Except for the enchanted area, you can't enter any other place," the old man said. Sorry to trouble you." Xianxia politely smiled and said. After the old man left, Xianxia could not sit still, and immediately started walking around. He met many people he did not know, and they did not know him either. He only knew that these people were all esteemed guests that had been invited, and were not people from the Super Yuan Dan Alliance. A few days later, Xianxia and the 100 over guests were invited to a hall. There were already more than 100 people waiting in the hall. Most of them were elderly, some were middle-aged, and some were young. "Welcome, esteemed guests. I am the Alliance Master of Super Yuan Dan Alliance, Chu Jinfeng." A tall and sturdy white-haired man walked over and laughed heartily. "Greetings, Alliance Head." Everyone greeted him. Please sit, please sit." Chu Jinfeng immediately invited everyone to take a seat. There were many seats in the hall, and no one talked much after sitting down. Most of the people who were invited were Alchemist. Alchemist usually refined pills and had a solitary personality, so only a few people could chat about it. Xianxia also did not interact with other people. He did not have a clear understanding of the Super Yuan Dan Alliance and did not want to be so high profile. "Everyone, there are 2 reasons why you are invited to participate in our conference. The first reason is that we, the Super Yuan Dan Alliance, need new members, and you are all powerful alchemists." Chu Jinfeng stood in front and said with a clear voice. "The second reason is that the 7 Mountains Divine Island is facing a huge crisis, and the entire island might even collapse." Xianxia was curious. How did this Chu Jinfeng know about this? To be honest, the 7 great sects each have 7 first Tao Creation ancestors, and these 7 great ancestors all absorbed the power of the Tao Creation evil ancestor before, so right now, they are all half evil and in great danger. When Chu Jinfeng said these words, everyone present let out a burst of surprised exclamations. "Isn't Tao Creation evil ancestor outside?" "That's right. Tao Creation evil ancestor just destroyed the Tao Creation ice mountain. They should still be doing evil deeds outside. Why was they absorbed by the 7 ancestors? You might not know this, but the one outside is not the Tao Creation evil ancestor, but the Tao Creation divine lord. This is a long story. You guys have to listen to me patiently." Chu Jinfeng then began to narrate the grudge between the Tao Creation divine lord and the 7 progenitors. Xianxia knew about all of these things, but he was still surprised. Who exactly was Chu Jinfeng, to actually know about these things. Chu Jinfeng was the alliance master and founder of the Super Yuandan Alliance, and the fact that the Super Yuandan Alliance had existed for a long time made Chen Xiang extremely curious. Chen Xiang did not expect Chu Jinfeng to know about the matters of the Paternoster race. Right now, the Paternoster race is the key to breaking through the 8 ancestor contract map. Once the 8 ancestor contract map is broken through, the Paternoster race will be under any restrictions, and running out of the Tao Creation ancient place will be our nightmare. Chu Jinfeng said. Initially, those who were invited did not believe it, but after sensing the powerful qi that Chu Jinfeng was secretly releasing, they believed it. One must know that there were also late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank S who were invited, and even they could feel a strong aura that was definitely not simple. If it's stronger than the aura of the late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank, could it be that he is at the peak of the world-defying stage legendary rank? Chen Xiang could only feel a hint of indistinct qi, but he was not too sure. He only knew that this qi was way stronger than the late-stage world-defying stage legendary rank that he had faced before. Chu Jinfeng continued to speak. There is a large amount of Tao Creation's divine crystals in the Tao Creation ancient place. Once the 8 ancestor contract map is broken, all sorts of heavenly and earthly treasures will fall into the hands of the 7 great sects and the Paternoster race. They have obtained a large amount of resources and are much stronger than us, so we can only allow them to slaughter us easily. Chen Xiang secretly nodded his head. He did not know what the Tao Creation Divine Lord was doing inside either. The Tao Creation Divine Lord's strength must be limited, because the Tao Creation Divine Lord was not very strong, and had been sealed for so many years. Then what should we do? Are we really going to escape 7 Mountains Divine Island? Is there a world better than the 7 Mountains Divine Island? No, 7 Mountains Divine Island is the best out of all the Tao Creation place. Everyone was very worried. I said before, the 7 Mountains Divine Island would be destroyed. The Tao Creation Divine Lord is already inside the Tao Creation ancient place. He was planning to do his best to destroy the entire 7 Mountains Divine Island and let the geniuses and treasures spread to all over the place. At that time, we would return to the Tao Creation place and the 7 Mountains Divine Island would no longer exist. Chu Jinfeng sighed. This is the best way. Chen Xiang also felt that this method was not bad. Although it was impossible to obtain, it could not be obtained by the Paternoster race and the sects from 7 Mountains. The 7 Mountains Divine Island was about to be exterminated, and Chen Xiang was also sighing endlessly. Fortunately, he had earned enough Tao Creation holy crystals to allow him to survive this period of time. But I want everyone to join the Super Yuandan Alliance to gather their power. Once the 7 Mountains Divine Island is destroyed, we can also use it to protect ourselves. The 7 major sects and the Paternoster races were very strong. An even more terrifying power would also be born. This is because we are all from the Alchemist and we are all going to be their most important targets. Chu Jinfeng sighed. If all of you agree to join our Super Yuandan Alliance, we will immediately arrange for all of you to leave the 7 Mountains Divine Island. If you join our Super Yuandan Alliance, there will be very good treatment for you. We have a lot of ingredients and recipes that we can give to everyone when the time comes. Everyone can also improve our pill formulas and share them later. In addition, we are also preparing to gift you 2 world-defying Dan grain. 2 world-defying Dan grain S. This made Chen Xiang and the others who were invited as Alchemist exclaim in shock. Just this point was enough to make their hearts move. At this time, many people agreed to join the Super Yuandan Alliance and leave. But Chen Xiang was completely silent. He knew how powerful the 8 ancestor contract map was, and how difficult it was to break through it. The 7 great sects and the Paternoster race S, however, took many years to succeed, and even the Tao Creation Divine Lord himself was unable to break through them. The 8 ancestor contract map was also protecting the 7 Mountains Divine Island, but Chu Jinfeng said that the 7 Mountains Divine Island was about to be destroyed. What kind of power could destroy the 7 Mountains Divine Island? Divide the genius of the Tao Creation ancient place into different realms? Other than Chen Xiang, everyone else had already gone to queue up to join the Super Yuandan Alliance. Chu Jinfeng saw that Chen Xiang was deep in thought, and walked over. Come with me. There are some things I need to discuss with you alone. Chu Jinfeng smiled. All right. Xianxia followed Chu Jinfeng into a secret room. Do you have any doubts now? Why didn't he join the Super Yuan Dan Alliance? You can refine Legendary God Dan. If you join Super Yuan Dan Alliance, you would definitely be able to become the pillar of our Super Yuan Dan Alliance. Chu Jinfeng was very suspicious. He also knew how powerful Xianxia was. If it's me, you don't have to doubt me. You already know what's going on inside the Tao Creation Ancient Place. Alliance Head Chu, the situation in the Tao Creation Ancient Place that you mentioned is indeed as I know it. I am just very curious about your identity. Xianxia said. Tao Creation Divine Lord is my master. Chu Jinfeng said. The main reason he was able to come to Tao Creation Ancient Place was because of your help. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for his plan to be completed. There were not many people like him who came to the Tao Creation Ancient Place to know about this matter. Since Chu Jinfeng was able to know about it, it must have been the Tao Creation Divine Lord who told him. I have already created the Super Yuan Dan Alliance for many years, but I have never seen such an outstanding alchemist like you. Chu Jinfeng patted Xianxia's shoulder and laughed. If you do not wish to join Super Yuan Dan Alliance, I will not force you. I'm just used to being free. Xianxia laughed. It's not that I don't want to. It's purely related to my personality. If I want to join, that's fine, but I might not come back here even once a year. If I do, I can contribute a few Legendary God Dan. That's it. Chu Jinfeng laughed. Take this, and from now on, you are a member of my Super Yuan Dan Alliance. Xianxia received a plate, looked at it, and kept it. Alliance Master, as far as I know, 8 Ancestor Contract Map are very sturdy and won't be broken that easily. Xianxia said, as long as the 8 Ancestor Contract Map exists, the 7 Mountains Divine Island will not be destroyed. Right? Indeed, but as long as my power is strong enough, I can defeat the 8 Ancestor Contract Map. Chu Jinfeng let out a long sigh. In the depths of the 7 Mountains Divine Island, there is an extremely terrifying thing hidden. Master made a huge decision, which was why that thing woke up. What is it? Xianxia's brows twitched. Something that could destroy the entire 7 Mountains Divine Island must definitely be very terrifying. Killing Evil Dragon. When Chu Jinfeng said these 4 words, he felt fear. Xianxia was startled. He had released the Killing Evil Dragon before, and it was indeed very scary, causing him to no longer dare to be chaotic. He also did not know whether his own red fire dragon would become a Killing Evil Dragon again. Where did the Killing Evil Dragon come from? Xianxia was calm and composed, but in his heart, he was secretly worried that his Killing Evil Dragon would awaken. 79 XS. The ones left behind by the Tao Creation Evil Ancestor. The Tao Creation Evil Ancestor himself was not too strong, but the Killing Evil Dragon he cultivated is the most terrifying. Back then, the Tao Creation Evil Ancestor mainly consisted of the other 7 ancestors, while my master brought people to deal with the Killing Evil Dragon. Chu Jinfeng said, the Killing Evil Dragon was actually hidden under the 7 Mountains Divine Island. Xianxia felt his heart palpitating with fear and couldn't wait to leave the island. This was simply too terrifying. The Killing Evil Dragon that the Tao Creation Evil Ancestor S could cultivate could indeed have enough power to destroy the 7 Mountains Divine Island. It shouldn't be good for the Tao Creation Divine Lord to do that. If the Killing Evil Dragon comes out, it will be a disaster for the entire Tao Creation place. Xianxia said. Master said that if the Killing Evil Dragon wakes up and breaks through, it would itself suffer heavy injuries and would definitely hide away to recover. As for him, as long as we seal it again during this period when he recovers, it would be fine. Chu Jinfeng said, this is something that Master will consider. There are a lot of people on this island. What I need to do now is to open the barrier that covers the entire 7 Mountains Divine Island, and let them leave the 7 Mountains Divine Island. If not, the people on this island will definitely die. Xianxia thought of the oldest tree and Uncle Shi. Alliance Master, there are many friends of the Tao Creation Divine Lord in the that are inside the 8 Ancestor Contract Map. If something like that were to happen, wouldn't they die? Xianxia was very worried. He felt that Oldest Tree and Uncle Sure were both very good. Don't worry, they will be fine. They are protected by the 8 ancestor contract map's power, and at most they will only be injured. Then, they will be hit by the energy and be blown away to other places. Chu Jinfeng laughed. There is no time to lose. I will go and prepare. You should also quickly go and inform your friends here. All right. Chun Xiang and the new alchemist left the villa immediately to notify their friends. The world-defying stage Peak Divine Rank Coliseum within the Fighting Glorious City let out waves and waves of shouts. Due to the appearance of a large number of Peak Dan, many experts of the peak of world-defying magic realm appeared in the city. When Chun Xiang found out that Yang Zhenming was in world-defying stage Peak Divine Rank Coliseum, he immediately rushed over to the private box that held Yang Zhenming. Boss Shin, how about the Super Yuan Dan Alliance? Is that true? Yang Zhenming anxiously asked as he returned. Lai Dao and Yan Zhou were also here. Chun Xiang told them what he learned from going to the Super Yuan Dan Alliance, and when they found out that the Seven Mountains Divine Island was about to be finished, they were extremely shocked. Is this credible? Yang Zhenming was the most depressed. He was now the city lord of the Fighting Glorious City. If he were to be done for, he would suffer heavy losses. Trusted, Chun Xiang said. City Lord, if the Seven Mountains Divine Island is not destroyed, your life will be even more miserable in the future. At least right now, the sects from Seven Mountains does not have enough power to deal with the major powers on the island. However, they have obtained a large amount of resources from the Tao Creation ancient place. That way, they would have enough strength to dominate the Seven Mountains Divine Island in the future. Yang Zhenming nodded and sighed. That's right, if the Seven Mountains Divine Island is destroyed, not only would they not get anything, they would also lose a lot of things, and everyone would be the same. City Lord, you can build your own Fighting Glorious City on the surface as well. Lai Dao laughed. It won't be difficult to get us to help you. Although you are currently a City Lord, there are many other forces here. If you get to the surface and immediately build a Fighting Glorious City, that would be your decision. Yes. Yang Zhenming laughed. It's a good thing. The other fellows were secretly controlling the Fighting Glorious City. They had always wanted to kick this city lord out of the system. Yang Zhenming was a very charismatic person. If he were to go and rebuild his Fighting Glorious City on the surface, as long as he was around, his Fighting Glorious City would flourish just like before. I'll make another trip to Tao Creation ancient place. Chun Xiang said. You can arrange for yourselves. The reason why Chun Xiang went to the Tao Creation ancient place was mainly to look for the Uncle Sure and Oldest Tree, as well as Zhou Xingji. The first person he found was the Uncle Sure. If I really do that, I might be injured. Uncle Sure laughed. The killing evil dragon is sealed inside the Seven Mountains Divine Island. I still have a part in this matter. Does Oldest Tree have a share too? Chun Xiang asked. Don't be like this, he's a little brat. He's very strong. Uncle Sure nodded his head. I've already met him. This guy is very mean at times. But he's not bad. Little guy, don't worry. I'll be fine. The Uncle Sure laughed. Then Senior will take his leave. I will go look for Oldest Tree. Chun Xiang was relieved. The Uncle Sure could be considered his friend. Chun Xiang arrived near the Paternoster race once again. After entering the barrier, he immediately used the penetrating force of the green ball to head towards the space where the Oldest Tree was. When Chun Xiang arrived, he immediately told Oldest Tree about the killing evil dragon. Oldest Tree's reaction was the same as Uncle Sure's. They were not surprised by his actions. Oldest Tree, do you think that after the Seven Mountains Divine Island is destroyed, these bunch of fellows from the Paternoster race will also be able to get out? Chun Xiang said. That's for sure, but their defense isn't that good. When the time comes, they will definitely suffer a great loss. Oldest Tree laughed. I can finally leave this damned 8 ancestor contract map. I never thought that the hand Tao Creation Divine Lord left behind was really useful. He did not waste my time sealing the killing evil dragon. Chun Xiang bid farewell to Oldest Tree and started to wander around the tree spirits outside. 2 days later, he finally saw Zhou Xingji and immediately sent him a sound transmission. Chun Xiang, why are you still staying here? You should hurry up and leave the Seven Mountains Divine Island. This place is going to end very soon. Zhou Xingji said. You know about this too? Xianxia was secretly surprised. Now the entire Seven Mountains Divine Island is dressed up in full dress. How could I not know? Right now, our Paternoster race is also doing our own defense, but I do not know if we can do it. I am planning to leave the Seven Mountains Divine Island right now, hoping that within the time limit, the Seven Mountains Divine Island will be destroyed, and then I will not be restricted. Zhou Xingji said. The incantation man could not leave Tao Creation Ancient Place for too long. If it was serious, he would die. If the Seven Mountains Divine Island was destroyed, Zhou Xingji would not have to worry. What are the reactions of the seven great sects now? Xianxia asked. I don't know. Let's hurry up and go. Zhou Xingji anxiously said. I sneaked out. Zhou Xingji did not continue speaking with Xianxia. While the other clan members were not paying attention, he quickly ran, and Xianxia followed behind him. They quickly left the Tao Creation Ancient Place. Only after Xianxia and Zhou Xingji walked out of the Tao Creation Ancient Place did they slow down. Old Zhou, do you know when Seven Mountains Divine Island will explode? Xianxia had asked Chu Jinfeng before, but Chu Jinfeng wasn't sure. He just wanted him to leave Seven Mountains Divine Island quickly. I'm not too sure when it will explode. I only know within a month. Zhou Xingji suddenly quickened his pace. They might already know that I have escaped. All of them have been keeping a close eye on us, afraid that we will escape at this stage. Your Paternoster race is truly strange. The other races will definitely make their own tribesmen leave this dangerous place as soon as possible at this time in order to continue the joss stick while your Paternoster race is not allowed to leave. Xianxia found it extremely funny. You've already run away. What can they do if they find out? You don't know the seniors in the Paternoster race? As long as the 8 ancestor contract map is still in the Tao Creation Ancient Place, they are restricted from leaving. Only a small portion of us can come out. But there is still a limit. When Zhou Xingji talked about this matter, he also felt extremely saddened. Those old fellows felt that if they could not live, they would not let us young people live either. However, they are so powerful, if the Seven Mountains Divine Island were to explode, they would still have a chance of living, and us juniors are definitely going to die. Xianxia couldn't help but laugh. I really didn't believe that you were born in the Paternoster race. No wonder I felt that all of you were strange back then. But then again, you seem more normal. Because I've been out a lot over the years and I've been in contact with normal people. Zhou Xingji said snappily. Let's hurry up and leave the Seven Mountains Divine Island. The Seven Mountains Divine Island was protected by a barrier, but there was a lake in every city. If they jumped into the lake, they would be able to leave the Seven Mountains Divine Island. If the enchantment was put away, it could also leave from the edge of the Divine Island. In addition, it could also be passed through the transmission array. Xianxia had already informed Yang Zhenming and the others that the Seven Mountains Divine Island would be destroyed, and more sound transmissions were being transmitted. It was also at this time that the protective barrier around the Seven Mountains Divine Island disappeared. Old Zhou, what plans do you have for the future? Xianxia asked. I still don't have any plans. I still need to get the 8 ancestor contract map destroyed, or else I might just die. If I don't destroy the Seven Mountains Divine Island within a month, I might be done for. Zhou Xingji said he was extremely worried at the moment. You'll be fine. Xianxia patted Zhou Xingji's shoulder and laughed. Don't be so pessimistic. Be more optimistic. This will definitely happen. I am worried that the Seven Mountains Divine Island will be destroyed 1 month from now. When that happens, I will die with even more grievances. Zhou Xingji said with a pessimistic tone, making him extremely speechless. Suddenly, Xianxia felt the Super Yuan Dan Alliance plate that Chu Jinfeng had given him trembling, which meant that Chu Jinfeng was nearby and was summoning them. Old Zhou, I still have things to do. You have to believe that nothing will happen to you, said. He and Zhou Xingji stood by the lake, and at this time, many people had come here to jump into the lake. As long as they jumped, they could fall from the lake into the sea. Go busy yourself. We'll meet again if fate allows it. Zhou Xingji nodded and then jumped into the lake. Xianxia immediately followed the sign and arrived at a place outside the city where Chu Jinfeng was waiting for him. Xianxia, Are you still not leaving Seven Mountains Divine Island? Chu Jinfeng's expression was stern. What are you still doing here? Things are happening faster than I thought. Really? Chun Xiang said in surprise. Of course it's true. Why do you look so happy? Chu Jinfeng asked doubtfully. All right. If there is nothing else, you should leave the Seven Mountains Divine Island quickly. All right, I'll leave immediately. Chief, when will you be leaving? Chun Xiang asked. I'll leave at the last moment. You don't have to worry about me. Chu Jinfeng said. We'll link back then. Chun Xiang immediately headed towards the city's lake and jumped into the lake. After a few flashes, he floated up to the sea below the Seven Mountains Divine Island. Many people had appeared here, and they were all from the Seven Mountains Divine Island. Coming down from above, they all complained that this place was not as good as the Seven Mountains Divine Island, and that all kinds of energy was thinner than the Seven Mountains Divine Island. They were right. Here the legendary gas were much thinner, but had no effect on Chun Xiang. It should be destroyed soon. Chun Xiang looked at the black shadow high up in the sky. From the looks of it, the Seven Mountains Divine Island was only a small black shadow. When he arrived at the shore, he discovered that there were already many houses constructed here. Some of the people who were moving quickly had already started to occupy their territories, and they were all rather strong people as well. If the Seven Mountains Divine Island were to be destroyed, there wouldn't be that many holy crystals. When Chun Xiang heard someone bring up this issue, he could not help but sigh. After all, he was using the Tao Creation's holy crystals to refine the pellets, and if it was really like this, he did not have much of a profit. I wonder where old Zhou went. Chun Xiang wanted to find Zhou Xingji and tell him that the Seven Mountains Divine Island was about to be destroyed, so he did not need to worry. Many people who came down from Seven Mountains Divine Island would wait at the shore. Since Chun Xiang could not find him at the shore, they could only silently bless him. After Chun Xiang waited on the shore for more than 10 days, on this early morning, like many others, he felt a vibration. Chun Xiang was able to fly in time and avoid the huge wave. Only a few people could be like him, but the majority of the people weren't so lucky. Has it begun? Chun Xiang could feel a very strong pressure coming from above. It was very far away from the ground, but he could deeply feel the berserk power, which showed just how strong the force was. Boom! A burst of muffled sound came from above. The sea went crazy again, setting off waves that overflowed the heavens. Chun Xiang stared at the black silhouette in the sky, and only saw that after the black silhouette trembled violently. It suddenly erupted with a wave of white light, and countless specks of light spread out in all directions. Countless specks of light entered the spatial crack. Chun Xiang also understood why these things were scattered throughout the realms after the Seven Mountains Divine Island exploded. Those are all the Tao Creation's holy crystals. One of them sighed and said, I wonder where he's gone to. Yeah, nothing will happen to the Tao Creation place in the future. Looks like a lot of these will fall to the Tao Creation place. We have to hurry and find it. After an old man finished speaking, many people left to search for the Seven Mountains Divine Island's fragment.